And we are officially live. Hi everyone, welcome to the grand finals for the DSFTWA 13th Clan Invitational Tourney. Kind of a mouthful. We are finally live. It's finally here, man. It's been a long time. I know everyone's been waiting for this for a while, but here it is. So Shadow Crows,
okay.
A team that on paper I didn't think was gonna make it this far, to be honest. Like, just being honest here, right? But they made it all the way through the upper bracket to the finals in the upper bracket, where they got 3-0'd by Pyjama Warriors, which made the Shadow Crows go into the lower bracket, and they had to face off against one of the Grumpy Kittens teams, which was Wildling Rush. Wildling Rush looked really good all the way through the lower bracket. That team lost the first match to another member of the Grumpy Kittens, which was Kachar's team. Saved the last dance for us. And then Wildling Rush made it played some excellent games all the way through the lower bracket, but Shadow Crows then beat them at the lower bracket finals. It was an insane match that I didn't think was gonna happen, and not the way that it happened. Like Shadow Crows looked really good, and now it's going to be a repeat of that upper bracket finals where we have Shadow Crows against Pyjama Warriors. Shadow Crows, they got 3-0'd by Pyjama Warriors last time, but this time it's a best of 7. I think they have a little bit of more momentum on their side, the Shadow Crows, because they beat very good teams, and so they have a good shot at taking this. Now, Pyjama Warriors, a team that has played very solidly through this tournament, right? They've been dominating. They've only lost they've only lost a map so far the whole tournament. So they've been doing really good in all their matches, and it's been on the back of a lot of Terran, a lot of TVTs. They've been winning those TVTs, so EuWeb has been doing some really good pulls, some really good plays with that TVT. So let's see how it plays out now.
Well, we saw Temilian and EuWeb from position 3 both go tier 2. So we have 2 Bioterrans on the bottom, and then followed by Temilian going by EuWeb going tier 2. And on the top team we see also both the Protoss, PewPewPrincess and Readoubt going Bio, and EuWeb is the one going Air Mech. And so far, it looks like the top team has the advantage. We do see Rebornbee here rocking the Reapers, which in theory should beat the Marines, but we do see a Stalker leak here, and also some Marines from Readout. So they do manage to take the initiative in here in the very early games, the first waves. Oh, we see now pure Marines and Ravens for Temilian, and EuWeb is the one trying to do the Liberator play, but Temilian here has all the tools he needs, and establishing the top team's lead more and more.
Yeah, right now the Shadow Crows look like they have a plan. They're executing it really well. It doesn't look like this just came out of nowhere, right? Like it seems pretty premeditated. And Pyjama Warriors, they took triple Terran, but the Shadow Crows took a toss, so it's up to the toss to really win out in the early game. And that's what we're seeing out of the Shadow Crows right now. The Protoss is winning in the early game. This is looking really good for them.
Yeah, but Nova, I do want to point out something I think is important here, as we do see the cannon probably going down here. So the top team is aware that they're facing triple Terran, and in 99% of the cases you'll have one Terran going tier 2 and the other 2 going Bio. So the Pew playing versus Bio has the classic anti-Bio tier 1 Protoss army, and Readout has the Bio here, and Temilian is trying to prevent EuWeb's air. I think the bottom team here, Rebornbee, should have been the one to go air, because in the scenario where they do end up losing the early game, which given the fact that Protoss is favored versus Terran Bio in most cases early game, Rebornbee could be the one here to try to stack on these stalkers
That
and
was such a
try and...
clutch stalker, man. That stalker did one attack and managed to kill off the lib, and I think that's gonna be ginormous. But Readout actually loses on the TVT front.
No, yeah, it's... How did this happen? Let's see if...
Yeah, but I think it's on the back that Rebornbee is Reaper Marauder, right? And yep, it's mainly Reaper Marauder against Marine Reaper. So I think that's gonna play out. But now EuWeb has to actually win this one. Let's see. The
No, he has so many. He has so many ops for the Matrix here. It's gonna be enough. The libs are here, not gonna be good versus this Viking and Raven of Temilian. And yeah, we see Temilian taking it quite handily. The problem with the playing libs TVT here is, and we've been doing it quite heavily, is if you're stuck on massing libs, the other guy can just get up the Viking count and get some Ravens. 3 is, I'd say, the maximum you want to get. And it makes for a very, very hard battle for the guy who invested like 1,000 plus into Liberators, which we see here EuWeb having 6 Liberators. Yeah, and with the 220... Yeah, go on.
EuWeb is having a hard time dealing with Tim. It seems like Tim is already ready for EuWeb. I think this is the first time we've seen EuWeb really struggling in all of the tournament. I think like EuWeb hasn't really had a lot of opposition against his libs. He's been free to micro his libs and play them out, but even though they stacked really heavily that one wave, it doesn't seem like it's gonna work right now. I think Shadow Crows has this game, to be honest. Like, but we still have to wait and see. It's Liberators are always scary, so you never know when they're gonna, like, when suddenly there's 6 libs stacking and you're dead. But I like this from He's sticking to tier 1.
Yes, and Nova, I think here we need to keep an eye on Readout's army. That army has the most important task now in the game, and that is to, if he can at all win this. Will Readout take this? I don't think so. It's gonna be...
Marines are pretty... They have pretty
okay, he's gonna win it. Okay, so this now, and now this is EuWeb's army. This is the army EuWeb needs to stack his Liberators on, and...
I don't know about that.
Because
Temilian dancing Vikings, I think those Vikings... I don't know what that happened there. But Temilian clears no problem, and the issue for EuWeb now is that he has libs, and Temilian has a lot of Vikings.
Yes.
If he keeps adding libs, then it's not gonna work for sure.
No, it's not. He's going to tech to tier 3, and then he's going to get some battle cruisers, because he doesn't need to win versus Temilian. He just has to not lose fast, and then he can pull off. The thing is that if EuWeb does stack some stalkers, it's going to be versus PewPew's ground. So PewPew will have a hard time clearing some heavier stalker leaks. But for now, he's still tier 2. EuWeb is, and will he dance it on the Marauder now?
Yeah, but they died.
Yep.
And the issue is that even if they dance there's Vikings, like the Vikings are just gonna... I really wish Temilian would disable that landing Viking. But besides that, the libs are gonna get cleared just because of the amount of Vikings.
Yeah, but Temilian doesn't have anything on the ground, and Joe does have a lot of Marines, so I do see here a scenario a couple of minutes down the line, and when the BC does pop, and there we see the BC from EuWeb and range, that there will be a scenario where Joe just stacks with like 7 or 8 Liberators. The Vikings from Temilian are shooting them, but then the Marines just kill the Vikings before the Vikings can kill the Liberators, and then we have a situation where PewPew with pure tier 1 is facing like a 4 Liberator leak.
Yeah,
even
but
2 battle.
Yeah, but PewPew has so many stalkers, man. He's still tier 1. It's not like he's on a Disruptor Immortal army kind of style, right? He's pure stalker, so I don't... and even against that army, I think he might not have that bad of a time, but let's see. Like, the BCs are here, but they don't have armor yet, so it's like they're not here. They just died. And only 1 Viking from Joe survived, so that's
It's still really early, but that's the scenario. So I'm keeping a close eye on Readout. Because I want to see, I think even, yeah, he's adding Thors. The first Thor drops from Readout, so that is the heavy marine Thor composition that is needed to prevent EuWeb from stacking. He can take a certain amount of Thors, like 3, but once it gets like to +5 Thors, EuWeb is going to have a tremendously hard task of trying to siege and come back.
Yeah, I really wish these BCs had any armor at all on them. this zero armor BCs. What are we
Yeah,
doing
he
here,
needs time. He needs range for the libs. He needs upgrades for the.
Okay, here we have the BC warp front. No. Okay, but the issue is also that Joe's army's getting kind of split. So his Reapers are just dying forward and not really contributing that much.
Okay, Pew is
and
adding
the storms!
storms. Yes, the storms.
Absolutely disgusting storms. They kill all the Marines.
And they're good versus, because it's triple Terran, it's like Banelings, so it's good versus no matter what wave you're facing. And knowing PewPew, he's going to follow these 3 storms up with tier 3 and then tech 2 carriers. And yeah, EuWeb is up to 4 battlecruisers, but 0 upgrades on them. So
So, and the Marines are 3-3, so they're getting very good trades against, well, you know, they don't kill BCs, but if the BCs had 3 armor, they'd be doing a lot better. But it's a little bit late now.
yeah, but look at this. Look at. So imagine this scenario, but down the line when PewPew gets 3 armor, and then he doesn't take as much damage, and then that's their only hope. But if it does work, I think PewPew is going to be up against it. Although he does have massive experience dealing with Liberators with Stalkers and Storm.
Dude, some of those High Templars had 8 and 7 kills. Like that's a lot of Marines going down to some High Templars. And Readout is so comfortable because the leaks is dealing so much damage to B that he can already focus on the Thors for
Storm's pretty good, man. Yeah. But
no,
let's see. No, still no. So 1 armor now. 1 armor from EuWeb, but I think he has nothing to wait here. He needs to go now before the Thor numbers rise and get his upgrades up to 3 armor. And yeah, look at this now. So the BCs are eating the Vikings, and Joe will now kill the Ravens and the Vikings. It's a lot of Vikings, man.
A lot of Vikings, man. They take.
But yeah, this is the scenario. So 4 Liberators survive. Let's see the sieges now, and let's see PewPew dealing with it. Yeah, the storms are massive here. There's no chance to stop the onslaught.
The Stalker.
Maybe Joe needs something else.
You're saying 4 lives, but the Stalker count is like all the way up to like I think it's in higher numbers of 24. So like, what are 4 lives gonna do against 24 Stalkers? The Stalkers.
It's 26 Stalkers now. Yeah.
Yeah, and the Marines are supposed to like buffer for the libs, but the Marines are disappearing to the storms, right? Like these High Templars are getting 7 and 8 kills every single time. Oh man, what a beautiful
Yeah, the
game
problem
so
for EuWeb are those Thors, man. The Thors there are just... It's going to be... But Readout stopped making Thors and made some Liberators here. I think he should go pure Thor, because the only card the bottom team has to play here is for EuWeb to stack some Liberators. But look at the Viking count from Temilian. He has 18 Vikings. So
oh, look, in the first carrier coming out.
Yep, that's PewPew style. Stalkers into storms into carrier.
But you can already see that like the gas count right now, it's 5-2. So every single possible advantage right now is in favor of the Shadow Crows. If Pyjama Warriors wants to take this game, they need a really good stack forming with that BC and these libs. Now these BCs are 2 armor. Soon they'll be 3, hopefully. And I think that's gonna be the best chance they have for coming back in this game. But so far, Shadow Crow's doing everything right. Maybe
I think I think Rebornbee needs to reposition his army back because he's well, this is a good stack now. Let's see this. It's a lot of Vikings from Joe, and yeah, the Marines will kill. Okay, let's see. This is 6 Liberators now, but it's 2 carriers, man. It's just... And PewPew will blink on the right side. It start picking off those Liberators one by one, and then just the remaining Joe's forces are nothing compared to this Stalker Storm Carrier.
Dude, these carriers have 0 attack and it doesn't even matter. It's still doing they're still doing their job.
Yeah, it's really hard here.
Okay, these lips now. Readout's army is a little bit weak, but yeah, okay.
Yeah, I mean his army, his bio numbers are weak because he invested almost 2,000 minerals into Thor Raven and Liberators, whilst B has been making nothing but bio here. So that's why that was looking shaky for a moment. But this is why the Thors are here, shooting down the BCs, helping the...
He made 3
helping
Thors,
Temilians.
and then he didn't get a single attack upgrade till now. So, Reed, what are you doing? I also would like to see Tim maybe not landing so many Vikings so many times. But who am I to criticize? Their army composition has been really on point. This looks like a studied build. There's absolutely no way you can say that they came with this on the... They came up with this on the spot. It looks like they were doing their job. They practiced, they trained, and they got a good build order going. Because, man, I don't think the Pyjama Warriors have been in this predicament in the whole tournament. And now 5 Thors. 5 Thors.
Yeah, this is stack prevention, textbook stack prevention. So a lot of Thors, a lot of Vikings, everything geared towards trying to prevent these Liberators from stacking. And I mean, those BCs take forever to go down. But let's see now if a significant number of Liberators can survive. No, it's too many Vikings. It's 3 Vikings here. Just 4 Liberators end up surviving, and it's not going to cut it at all.
Yeah, the Stalker count is just too huge. The carriers are
massive. Yep.
There's no answer to the carriers. The BCs go down. So, like, usually BCs would tank carriers for days, but this time there's no BCs that survive all the way to the carriers. So the carriers are having a great time. They're +2. There's so many Thors. Even the Libs are doing a great job. Maybe not against the BCs, but
clearing the way. Yeah, it's just EuWeb just can't catch a break because both Readout and Temilian himself are playing great anti-air mech tactics versus him. I gotta say again, I think B was here the player, or I don't mean B, so EuWeb should have been positioned too, and then he should have tried to stack on PewPew's remaining forces.
I think the main issue that I see happening here is like the Marines ignore the Vikings because the Vikings aren't a threat and they start attacking everything else. So that just gives the Vikings like a bunch of more time to deal with the air. It just gives them like 3 or 5 extra volleys, and that's a lot of air dead from, what is it, like 20 Vikings at this point?
I think this game is super over. It's impossible. If you want to come back, you need this siege now that EuWeb is doing. That needs to be either on a Protoss or on a Zerg, because if it's versus a Terran who is doing what Readout's doing here, this happens. Your meat shield goes down, your chances go down here, and then those Thors from Readout are followed by a million Vikings from Temilian, and we can say for sure that no Vikings, no Liberators, or no significant amount of Liberators is stacking with Joe and helping defeat PewPew. So I would call this game all but over here.
Yeah, and now that PewPew knows that he's facing against Thors, he can just add some Immortals, and I think he's gonna be in a really great spot. I mean, he may just add carries knowing PewPew being PewPew. He may just
no, he'll make Thors. He'll just wait for, if it's like 5 Thors or more, he'll make Immortals. he will do it. But
what do you think the immortal count's gonna be? 3?
yeah, it's not gonna match the Thor at all. He likes his stalkers and his carriers versus the Thors.
All right, next is taking some damage, so it's already being softened up. Oh,
Yeah,
now
it's not gonna get better. No, it's not gonna get better here because the Viking count is just so insane that the amount of damage they're gonna do is just...
Yeah.
See, even though everything will go down, the Vikings get targeted last. And where are the Liberators? We started this battle with 2 even BCs being alive and all of the Liberators being alive, and Joe's Vikings stacking, and despite all that, Temilian's Viking destroyed everything, and that's the way we really have seen the rise of the Viking in recent meta, and geared towards both their prowess in PvT now that the Raven is nerfed, and generally later game in doing exactly this, so preventing your opponents from doing the only play they have here. So EuWeb's air stacking is the only hope they have, and that hope is being extinguished quite decisively here by the Shadow Crows. Temilian also adding Thors himself up to 4. And
so many Vikings, man. What a crazy amount of Vikings.
yeah, but you see their job is done, so 1 Liberator is here alive, and look at PewPew just in your face with storms and stalkers and carriers.
Oh,
He will get a second
getting
storm.
1 extra
Yeah.
stormed off with like 10 Marines there. Hero High Templar.
Storm is so good. People, I mean, I wouldn't say High Templars are underrated, but people really sometimes don't realize how much damage units take when they're stormed.
I think the High Templars is so expensive, right, that it feels like a little bit undervalued. Like you need to get a lot of damage from the High Templar done, but looking at these armies, man, so many Marines from Rebornbee, like, I think it's, and Joe as well, so I think it was the right call for sure, over Disruptors. Even though Disruptors are way cheaper, I think the Disruptors a little bit harder to land, right?
Yeah, and then they'll hit air, and they can be messed with Widow Mines and Swarm Host and stuff. Storm does 80 damage, and when you storm like 5-6 units, you get like 400-500 damage done. So tell me what unit in its lifespan that does 400-500 damage.
A Thor?
It's really... Sorry?
A Thor?
Yeah, then it's also much more expensive, and it's undervalued, so a Thor should be 450 at least, 475 I'd even say. I'd lower the cost of some other Terran units, and I'd absolutely increase the cost of the Thor. It has such a profound impact on the game, and it's just you see every game ending with Thors, and I don't think it's desirable.
I mean, the Terran army has been a pretty much staple of Lib Thor, Raven BC. It has been like a very comfortable army for Terrans, and then the bio cleanup crew, and so far they've been deciding the meta of direct strike. I think Terrans have been at the forefront of direct strike forever now, but you can see that this one Protoss is definitely making a huge difference as it's made the top.
Yeah. I'm not trying to argue that Terran is weak. I'm just trying to say it's very asymmetrical.
Oh, no, Terran OP.
Yeah, I mean, you have a unit like the Liberator, which is really good, and it's not expensive. I mean, for it to be good, you need expensive upgrades, you need tier 3, blah blah. But then you have some completely useless units you never see made, and some cool units which you would make if they cost less. And I don't know, the Terran tourney compositions have been quite stale, I think. Especially tier 2 Terran, I even wrote a post about it. It's just You never see cyclones, you never see ghosts, you never see siege tanks, you very, very rarely
Wait,
see medevacs. We see
you
Joe
do?
making some here.
I think Ghost see play.
In
It's just
3v3 tourney play,
yeah, of course. But
since
ghosts are
the
only
EMP nerf.
no, not EMP. Ghosts are particularly good, I think, against Zerg and against Ultras. For
Okay,
sure.
yeah, that's true. If you're versus Ravagers, you can make some ghosts, even marine ghosts. I see work really well.
And against Ultras too.
But
They do instant damage. They're pretty nice.
yeah,
They feel like
yeah,
an
but
instant
that's like,
damage roll.
that's like super late game when you just you add. But yeah, I don't know. I'd like to see more variety in the middle game and the
Yeah, it does
mid
feel
late
like the
game.
Terran only has the real option to go libs because the libs are just so undervalued, right? Like if you micro them, they get just so much extra value that there's no
Yeah,
point in playing anything else, right? It feels like, and that's been the defining point of Direct Strike now for some time. Like it's just like
yeah,
libs
but
are
what
so
else
strong.
would you make? What else would you make? How would you beat Zerg or how would you beat Protoss without? So you say that, yeah, it's true. Libs are really good for the cause, but Terran really loses if he doesn't go libs. You know, if you go tanks, you're just gonna get mowed down by morals, disruptors, and everything. If you go, I don't know, medevacs with bio, it just loses to both Protoss spells and banelings and links and ravagers, and you're forced into mech, and
But
I don't know.
maybe it's okay to let Terran lose a little bit so that, you know, we can have the era of Zerg or the era of Toss maybe and not be 5 Terrans every game. That would be something interesting to watch, I think. But for now, we do have the era of Terran dominance, and these Terrans are getting
Yeah, I'd
demolished by
say it's the
other
dominance
Terrans.
of Thors and Libs. It's not. Theron is. Yeah, I mean, I would be all for nerfing the current. I'd say late game OPness of Terran, which is why we see so many Terrans here, in favor of making the race more balanced overall. So it's ridiculous how, as you said, how much more how much of a better investment Liberators and Thors are compared to the other Terran units. So
Yep.
some especially would like to see the siege tank become more viable with some lower cost and stuff, and then
Do you think we're gonna
yeah.
get to see something other than Terran from the Pyjama Warriors?
Well, EuWeb is a Terran player and Joe is also, and Rebornbee is the only one who could maybe switch it up to Zerg, but given the fact that PewPew is playing Toss, I don't think we'll see Zerg from the Pyjama Warriors at all, because they risk then PewPew just stacking for days versus the Zerg if they get an unlucky draw on the pig ban. So I think we are in quite a lot of danger of seeing the same matchup a lot of the games this year.
Okay, and yeah, and this is the best of 7, so we're gonna get at least 4 games, but very likely some more games. And one thing about
But
the
I wouldn't be
Terrans,
surprised. I wouldn't be surprised seeing Pew rocking Zerg if it's triple Protoss as well.
yeah, but
I think he could do all.
let me say this one point I want to get so that everyone's prepared, right? This is at least 4 games, maybe more games, and if Pyjama Warrior is gonna play triple Terran, one factor of triple Terran is that even if they're losing, they're very hard to kill, so it just takes a while. You can see that this game is 29 minutes long. It's gonna end. Yep, the Nexus goes down. GG is called, and Shadow Crows takes game number 1. But I do want everyone to be ready. Like this might be a very long match. Okay, yeah, we are ready. Game number 2 is starting. Nedved, who do you think is gonna win?
Yeah, I think that we could see a similar scenario panning out. I want to see what the bottom team does different, or will maybe be the one going tier 2. But Yeah, I just don't see Joe breaking Pew with Marines early game.
Okay, so and we have PewPewPrince on the bottom left. On the bottom, we
We have the
have
same
Readoubt.
tier 2, so both Temilian and EuWeb going tier 2, so it's the same as game 1.
Yes. On top left, we have Joe. On the top, we have B. And on the top right, we have EuWeb. Rocking that the Haka. PewPew opening all stalkers. That's a bold move, I would say. Okay, not much happening, just a little bit more of the same. We have to wait on EuWeb to commit to something. EuWeb actually canceled T2, so we might get to see something else. And Joe's gonna pounce on the Marines, and I don't think PewPew will be able to deal with it. Let's see. This cannon is gonna be able to take down the Marines from Tim.
Yeah.
And Joe commits fully to the Marines. He gets combat shield. Is he gonna get stim? He has to, right? Yep, he gets stim. Let's see how it does.
So the top team is triple tier 1. That is the change from game number 1, and that's how they're gonna try to break this, but PewPew is still going to take this versus Joe, so yeah.
It's a lot of Marauders, but yeah, this Marine Reaper army from Reed, I think, should be able to win with these 2 extra Stalkers backing him up. Now, Temilian commits to T2 with a lib, while EuWeb goes full Marine, so that's a change they're gonna do. This bunker already at half health, but as long as it doesn't die, it's gonna be fine. And I think EuWeb's army is gonna be big enough to deal with what Tim has. But we have to see. No scan, so no pre-siege. And the siege is kind of there, but yeah, it's gonna go down. And I think as long as the cannon deal with this, I think it should be fine for the bottom team. But okay, doesn't use the energy on the sentry, so that's really good. He gets that +1. Oh, Joe didn't get +1 attack. That's really okay. Now he gets it, but it's a little bit late. Is it gonna be enough? The stalker count from PewPew is pretty high, but yeah, it's gonna be enough. And Joe gets cleared, and that's actually a very particular wave that the top team absolutely needed to win. Now, maybe B can make it happen here, but the stalker count is pretty big.
No, I think, yeah, the B doesn't stand a chance here. Also, the bottom team, I don't know if they identified that the top team doesn't have any tier 2. I mean, they don't need any cloak play here, but one Banshee would just make EuWeb very, very sad here.
Okay, and yeah, Temilian is just committing on the libs, so let's see how the libs do. That's a
Yeah,
lot
I
of
don't
Marines
think
still
he's
alive.
going to take this.
Okay,
Yeah.
this is very dangerous once again. Temilian is losing to EuWeb against that Marine Reaper count.
But PewPew, let's see if he can. Now Joe has 1-1, he has all the tools, and I don't think this is gonna go well for PewPew here.
I'm not sure why PewPew's added more stalkers. Like, it's pure Marines. Why are you adding stalkers? You just need adepts. Like, that's kind of weird.
I mean, this ended up being closer than I thought, and one stalker is even gonna survive, so...
Yeah, but the clump is the issue, right? Like, Readout's army is very clumped in the middle, while
Okay, let's... Yeah, B has an arc here. Does B win this? I think he does, yeah.
Yep, and they turn it around. Okay, and now... I think the bottom team, the Shadow Crows, is really focusing on the ability of Tim to be able to stack some libs. But I'm not sure if it's going to happen this way, but that's a lot of Marines, my friend.
Yeah, we see both B and EuWeb going tier 2, with B being B's
might be
tier
cannon.
2 being ahead.
Yeah, the cannon's going to go down here, I think.
No, it's going to survive, but the bigger issue here is that the top team feels so confident in their lead, they're going tier 2 for those upgrades, and B... Sorry?
2 of them are going T2, yes.
Yeah, both of them are going tier 2, and B, who spawned now, is going to hit Readout's 1-1 army with at least +2 attack, and yep, he does get it, Rebornbee. So let's see if B can clear Readout's army here with the better attack upgrades.
Yeah, but the upgrades, they make a difference, but the 2 stalkers are also pretty big. Okay, yeah, they get cleared. The issue is that
also the 250 invested in tier 2 is also we have to take into account, so that was the trade-off, but B did manage to win it in the end, and yeah, now EuWeb is tier 2.
Yeah,
and
look at that siege from Tim. That was absolutely awful. Sieging on top of the Marines, not from a distance. This is not the siege play. You need Tim to be able to get this kind of game when the cannon is going to go down as well. EuWeb gets the cannon, so a very crucial cannon kill right there. And now the top team is going to be
triple tier 1 paid off. The triple tier 1 gamble paid off. The bottom team didn't realize it, didn't punish it, and just legions of bio mowed down the bottom team's armies until it was the cannon went down. And
yeah, now the army from Readoubt, there's no way he's gonna be able to deal with B, right? So now,
no,
I think EuWeb, sorry, is gonna take a page from Tim's book and just make Vikings now. Tim has to stack on these libs. Like, he has to, right? Like, that's the only chance that the bottom team is gonna have to maybe come back. Unless maybe Pew can make up one of his miracles, right? Like, Pew does come up with some miracles every now and then. And Pew is trying to do that, I think, because he's adding stalkers, and he's staying T1, so he might try to just blink back stalkers. Those has a huge amount of adepts, but those anti-armor missiles, man, that's -2 armor for the whole army, and Joe is just pure marine, so that's gonna take full advantage of the -2 armor. And Joe might be able to clean Readout as well. Oh my god, yeah, Readout's army is done. Only a ragtag group of not even 16 units against this very well spread out formation. So Temilian is finally going to go T3. That's what he needs. He needs a lib range. He needs some libs to survive. All it takes is just one wave for them to come back at this game. The only issue I see is that EuWeb is already adding Vikings. He has a very high marine count. He has Ravens for the anti-armor, his Ravens for the disable and turrets. Has everything he could ever want. And PewPew is just adding more and more stalkers. So I'm not sure who's trying to stack with who here. If PewPew is trying to stack with Readout, or if Pew is trying to stack with Tim.
Yeah, no, with Readout. So what Pew is doing, there is a timing-ish thing, I'd say, around 14-15 minutes, where if he just continues mass stalker and Joe doesn't follow this up with some mech or some bigger DPS, Pew will eventually be able to not lose in time, quote unquote, and then he will stack with B. And there have been in-house games recently where it ended up featuring many of the players we see here, where such a comeback occurred. So I'm pretty sure he's triple plus 111.
I think he's signaling trying to stack with whoever he can. Right? If he sees the opportunity, he's giving himself the opportunity to either blink front and stack or blink back and stack. Kind of an interesting dynamic. Stalkers are so sweet. Okay, but so Nedved, you're saying that you've seen that happen in in-houses. What usually is the time window where that happens? Is it like the 11-minute mark, or like what?
No, it's around 14-15 minutes. So I mean, it didn't happen a lot of times for me to extrapolate some kind of usual timing for it. I've seen only once or twice, but it's just you see battles when the Terran player commits long term to upgraded bio with like a Raven or two, and then PewPew with just legions of stalkers in the depths, and the battle just drags on forever. And yeah, he manages to stack like 12, 13 stalkers, and yeah. The problem is that the Rebornbee is not going air. He's going bio, so that mid-game stalker stack when it worked was versus when the next player was air mecher, and then the Marines were on the other side. The few blinky stalkers on the opposing side, and then they managed to take it here versus Rebornbee. I don't know how effective that's gonna be, but will it come to that at all? We see the Nexus taking quite a lot of heat.
Yeah, but I think these lips might go down. That's a lot of Vikings. There's nothing to protect the libs, yeah. They're all gonna go down. And now, since PewPew blinked front, he can't really try to stack very well with Reed, so I think this army is gonna go down, and they're gonna try.
They should drop the lib stack, because it's not gonna happen given the fact EuWeb is now entering.
Yeah,
absurd.
I would like to see PewPew blinking back instead of blinking front.
Yeah, repositioning full back and blinking back and trying to stack with Readout is their only play here, I'd say.
But dude, this is so many Marauders from B. If B gets one more chance at this Nexus, he already put it at almost 50% HP. If he puts it at... Oh man, like if these Marauders, that's a lot of Marauders sieging on the Nexus is dropping health. Just a little bit, they get cleared on time. Okay, and he's gonna try to stack one more time, so he blinks front yet again. Yeah, and the issue is, even though there's so many Stalkers, the Vikings just clear the libs on time, and PewPew is still trying to stack with Tim. And I agree with you.
It's the same problem. The same problem as game one when the Marines tried to kill the Liberators from Temilian, and they couldn't kill it in time, so the Vikings killed all the Liberators. And we see here the same thing. So PewPew does get to the Liberators in time to save them, but just can't kill the Vikings, and doesn't target the Vikings at all until everything else goes down, and is just super frustrated. That's why I think he should just abandon the plan completely and try to stack Stalkers here. EuWeb is massing some Vikings here and dancing them to let's see how this goes, but look at the amount of Vikings.
Phoenixes make their appearance here for the first time, so PewPew finally went T2. He has +2 armor now, and the Phoenixes are going to protect the libs, but is it gonna be enough? There's only... Okay, there's 3 libs, so 3 libs are a lot now to deal with. Let's see if this army can make it work. There's 1 Viking from Joe and a tank. Tanks are absolutely amazing against Stalkers. They just do a lot of damage against armored units, and their range is very good. Okay, so not quite there for the Shadow Crows just yet. And now we're approaching the 14-minute mark, which is the time you were talking to? You were referring to? So,
yeah.
And look at the gas count. It's a very crazy high gas count for both teams, I think, because right now it's 7 to 6.
7 to 6, yeah.
Temilian's trying
yeah,
to
EuWeb is doing, he's trying, he's microing, but yeah, EuWeb, Temilian, but EuWeb won't let him. It's just so many Vikings, and this is an investment for PewPew now.
Yeah. Such a tough match, man. Like I can't believe it's so close between these two teams. That like a fast one like this is what they're using to take the game. I think it's a genius strategy, and I think they're gonna get away with it, to be honest. Like just opening tier 1,
yeah.
Making full Marines, tricking 10 into going T2, and T2 libs should win out against Marines. But if you're not ready for it, you're not expecting it, then yeah, you can get blindsided like this.
Yeah, and they really needed to identify that the top team was 3x tier 1. There was no scan, and then one Banshee would just throw the wrench into the game.
Yeah, and they're making their
But
army a little bit more predictable now with the blink stalkers always blinking front, so EuWeb is very comfortable just adding libs at this point to deal with the stalker
yeah,
count.
exactly. Yeah.
So that is just making and look at Joe. Joe has so many Marines. He's gonna be more than comfortable dealing with these like 3-4 libs that get past. Like
Yeah, this is very close to being game here, and the anti-armor is here. Just in what scenario do you see here comeback mounting versus triple Terran? It's nearly impossible to come back.
maybe if 10 had BCs instead of Vikings, maybe, but I don't know. I'm not the one that made it to the finals. They did, so I'm gonna let them do the plays. Yeah, the blink front. Look at all the stalkers dying. It's just the libs trade so well against stalkers. Okay, a lot of libs. Never mind, they're getting cleared. I thought five healthy libs were gonna stack, but it's just 4 damaged libs.
It's kind of bit late now, also. So
I mean, look at that insane dude. PewPew has 4 gases.
yeah,
And
I don't know exactly.
Green. Tanks making an appearance. You said that tanks weren't played in competitive play? What do you mean?
Yeah, you're proving me wrong, the finalists.
Tanks from both teams.
Yeah, my main tanks are here now because of all the massive amounts of bio. So then tanks versus bio behind a very large amount of bio, because there's nothing like biles and stuff to shoot them down. Bio versus bio battles tend to go on for a while, so siege tanks can really dish out several shots, and it is very devastating versus bio numbers. Oh, even EuWeb's Vikings landing here, killing the remainder of PewPew's forces, and
yeah, EuWeb's army is so big now that it can clear PewPew.
Yeah, this game is all but over.
There's Thor's out now as well. I think though Joe made 1 tank for the loads because he never upgraded it even or anything. He just wanted 1 tank. Reed is committing a little bit heavier to the tanks, but I think this is gonna be it. The Marauders are gonna clear, and now they're nothing stopping them from attacking this Nexus, and it's gonna go down. GG is called, and we're going on to game number 3 with a 1-1.
Yeah.
Okay, and we are back. So the players are ready. It seems like Temilian had a family emergency. Pretty big one at that, from what I read. I hope his family is okay. And I hope he can focus his head back on the game so we can get some good games, but I also hope that his family is okay. Must be tough news for him. Kind of sad to hear that. Fortunate that it had to happen during tournament. But we are ready to get game 3 on the way, and we are going to have same matchup. Now let's see who goes T2, and it looks like it's an instant T2 from Tim.
The question is EuWeb going tier 2?
He is not committing so far.
So they're sticking to their plan from game number 2, and it will be up to the bottom team. Let's see if they identified that maybe if the top team pulls the triple tier 1 build again, it can be punished by some Banshees, maybe mines to some extent, but Banshees, as we can't expect PewPew here to go tier 2 and some Dark Templars, it would just be too big of a gamble. We see again Reapers from Readout and
Actually, this is
Rebornbee.
different. That's a different play from Reed. Reed has been opening like a lot of Marines.
Yeah.
And this time he hasn't made a single Marine yet. And B is going to make Marauder Reaper.
Yeah, and we see you does opt for the tier 2. So he will be matching Temilian, who already has tier 2.
But he can still cancel. Like, he's still on time to cancel. Let's see what he does.
Yeah. I don't think he'll risk it 2 games in a row. He does realize they pulled fast one of them game 2 and their triple tier 1 wasn't punished. But let's see.
Okay, yeah, it's a lip commitment from him. Now let's see what Tim commits to. Tim hasn't made anything yet.
Yeah, and he's wise to wait. Yeah, the cannon is not in danger of going down, and even if he makes nothing, 2 libs aren't going to do anything.
Ned, look at this. This was huge. So Ned, Temilian scanned EuWeb, and EuWeb had libs, but when scan was revealed, he sold his libs for Mass Marine Reaper, and Tim now is stuck with these 3 Ravens that are gonna be absolutely worthless.
Mold, EuWeb got the better of him, and you can imagine the look on Temilian's face now when he saw those Marines.
I think that scan just hurt him more than it helped him, to be honest.
He's selling the Marines now, and he's probably adding libs with this, but man, your 3 Ravens in deep, and the Marines will just keep coming. EuWeb will add probably 1 Raven for anti-armor, or not even, and then just pile on the Marines here.
Yeah, and the difference from game 2 to game 3 also is that now since EuWeb is T2, he can scan for the top for the terror against the toss, so that's actually huge, denying the hallucination. But Readoubt now has Marauder Reaper of its own, so he's now gonna be strong against Rebornbee. He's not gonna be as weak as he was on that previous game against B. No stim, but no stim.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I mean, he will get a siege here on the Marauder, but still one Raven, as I said, and will dropping the anti-armor in no time here, will it? Yeah, it was a bit late. Only catches 1 lib and the dying Raven, but still. EuWeb survives, and that Raven is sticking around and gathering energy, and guess what's gonna be popping out of the Raven now, hitting the Protoss army. Yep. And now Joe, I think, will be able to clear PewPew here. Yes.
Yep, and now this is a lot of damage going on to Readout's wave, so there's absolutely no way. Look at his army, it's all clumped in the middle now. This Marauder and Rebornbee, that the Reaper grenades are gonna be fantastic.
Yes, and also the upgrades are on point. The upgrades are on point for B as well, with the 1-1 here and the Pyjama Warriors.
The thing is, like, he's on Mass Marauder. Look at this bunker health just going down really quickly.
It's gonna go down, man. Yep, with the last shot, it does go down, and now Temilian really needs a victory here, but I don't think EuWeb is going to give it to him. And seeing that Temilian sold his Marines and committed to libs and Ravens, EuWeb makes 3 Ravens of his own, and yeah, there's nothing from Temilian to contest the turrets when they come down, and just Marine Raven will beat Lib Raven, the current meta, easy peasy.
Yeah, the Ravens aren't really as strong as they used to after the patch went through. The Raven turrets are just absolutely awful against Bio now. That -3 armor really hurts the turret. It also has less HP, right, and less duration. It's just awful all around. I mean, it is cheaper. That is something, right? Like, it's the Ravens are cheaper, but not cheap enough to really warrant that
not nearly.
That it got.
It's what, a 15 mineral reduction, so you would need to make like 15 Ravens.
Oh,
so for the 5th.
Oh no, okay, never mind. It went down. Almost, Lib almost survived, but the anti-armor missile is huge.
Yeah, but no, the anti-armor just makes it a no contest here, Joe, with
Dude, the
so many
sentry's
Marines.
disabled even, so the sentry didn't get to do anything either.
Yeah, and a lot of damage now being done. It's 20 Marines from Joe. This is similar to what we saw the game before.
Yeah, I don't like this lip spread from Tim. I think he should build on a corner, like, vertically, not horizontally, so he can stack.
Yeah.
Maybe add some Reapers on both ends. I think would be a little bit better.
No, I
I
think
think it's too late for that, maybe.
he needs a battle cruiser here most of all because he has nothing to tank the Marines even if it lands.
Maybe a pre-scan.
See, and now EuWeb is going.
That
He
was
knows.
not a good siege. That was auto siege on the Reapers. So not disabling the siege was awful because now the Reapers just forced the siege in a very awkward spot for the libs. And the Viking is gonna take it down, man.
And the Vikings are forcing PewPew now to go make some air because even if they stack, you know, the Vikings will just stand there and shoot the Liberators until the Stalkers clear everything else. So it's the bottom team is in heaps of trouble here.
Okay. Yeah, okay, so Temilian added some Reapers to protect the cannon, maybe, from the Marauders? Protect the Nexus?
No, it's ideally to bounce a bit the Marines when he hits the main wave. So the Marines just don't.
Oh, they didn't siege again. Temilian is not sieging.
Yeah, but the Viking count is at 7 and PewPew has no air, so it doesn't really matter here at this point. Before PewPew gets some Phoenix here, the Liberator's stack is just not gonna happen. And Stalkers are notoriously slow at killing stuff. They will stack here, so that's the other side of the medal we were talking.
Huge army, man. This is like, what?
Yeah.
19, 18 Stalkers? That's a lot of Stalkers, and maybe a little bit linked to the sides.
Yeah, it's 18 Stalkers, but B has a lot of Marauders, and PewPew is kind of late to the fight here. It's gonna be close-ish, but I still think that B takes this battle.
It's a lot of Marauders against Stalkers, so the Stalkers aren't gonna trade well. But that was very close. Maybe a little bit more of that, and we can see.
Maybe PewPew should realize this and move back here, but he won't. Yeah, he blinks back instantly, so he's full front and he's blinking back.
Yeah. I kind of wish PewPew was at the back instead of the front. Maybe he could stack a lot better. Use the Nexus to stack instead of trying to stack with Tim. Kind of feels like he's trying to do both, stack with Tim and stack with Reed.
Yes, and EuWeb is really good at stack preventing, so he plays this versus me all of the time, and he'll be sure to keep his Viking and Raven count healthy. We see him now at 4 Ravens and 8 Vikings, and that's a very hard army. There is almost a Viking per Liberator here, along with all the Marines and the Ravens, and it's gonna be a tall order here to come back. And PewPew is being notoriously stubborn on the Phoenix. He doesn't want to do it. He wants to continue making his army. So he's now in a pickle. He sees his Stalkers are kinda stacking, kinda being able to stack. So he wants to continue stalkering, but at the same time Temilian needs him to go Phoenix, because if not, just those Vikings will be killing Liberators all day and no stack will be happening.
This is a huge army, so that's a lot of Reapers. Almost all the army from Reed is alive, and some of the Stalkers are alive, but they're so far spread out, right? Like there's no.
Yeah, they're lagging behind again. By the time they arrive here, it's too late, and B is a 3-3 bio. It's barreling down the DPS. The Marauders with 3 attack do 26 damage versus armored, so Stacking stalkers on marauders is a very punishing task. It's like stacking libs on marines and Thors.
Yeah, and PewPew, he's still trying to stack with Tim, but I'm not sure if he's gonna be able to get the stack with that many Viking from EuWeb. Okay, so we see PewPew finally going T2. So
yeah, there will be a significant stack here from stalkers. Yeah, ooh, anti-armor missiles go down. It's
okay. That's a blink front. So stalkers are gonna be here on time finally, or at least some.
I still think B wins this. It's just Joe and B's armies together do a lot more damage than PewPew's and Readout's armies. So
well, it's 3-3 bio against 1-1 stalkers. What do you think it's gonna win?
Yeah.
Literally 3-3 bio, man.
Yeah, it is, and it has been for like 2 waves now. And PewPew is not. Does he have tier 2?
PewPew just got T2 just now.
He just got tier 2, yeah.
And no 2-2 upgrades.
No. He'll save it for next wave. This wave it's too late, but
even the Vikings are trading good against stalkers.
I mean, if he made some disruptors now, there's so much bio. I don't think the one Widow Mine or something can hold here.
Oh, and
he needs to help.
Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, he needs to help Rebornbee here, Readout a bit here by lowering the bio numbers, because even with the stalker stacks, Readout still needs to. Oh, could this be game here? So many marauders. This is game, man.
This could be Nexus, yeah. It's close. 200 HP, 100 HP.
It's not gonna go down, but this is the BC is out. So let's see if EuWeb can.
BC with +2 armor, so
look at EuWeb smartly putting the Marines full down so Temilian can't siege with a brilliant move. His mech is front, and then his Marines are back, and there is nothing that in the air that Temilian can siege, and then his Liberators are forced to come front to fight the EuWeb's air. Nice little trick there. I mean, PewPew does have 1 million stalkers, but at the end of the day, so
actually the stalkers
Readout
are not dying.
Yeah, that was the 14th minute timing I was talking about. So the stacks here do happen, but problem is here Rebornbee in the scenario as I watched, the player coming here was air mech, and then this stalker bio stack was devastating. But here Rebornbee is just full on bio with +3/+3, and despite the stack.
I don't like that Readout went for lips. I don't think Readout needed lips, because that just makes it just makes B be able to add infinite amount of Vikings.
Oh, it's so painful for Temilian. You see, it's so cool. I have to remember this trick. I didn't do it yet. So just placing I don't make a lot of bios. That's probably why I never do it. But he puts his bio full back and his Vikings and Ravens and Lips full front, and just forces Temilian into EuWeb's air, denying him the chance of a fast siege. Yeah, the comeback versus the triple Terran.
Okay, yeah, the Nexus is gonna go down, and this is
GG. It's game.
GG is
so it's 2-1 to Pyjama Warriors here.
Okay. Game number 4. So same matchup, same places. Joe. I mean, now Pyjama Warriors is at the bottom. It's basically the difference. We have Joe on the bottom left, B on the middle, and EuWeb on the bottom right. Top right, we have Tim. On the top, we have Readout. And top right, we have PewPew. PewPew is opening with, has been a little bit different every single game. This time he's opening for is 1 sentry, 2 stalkers, and an adept. I think this should win out in theory. Although maybe the spread out It's gonna be a little bit. No, okay, it's gonna be completely fine. I think it wins out. Yep.
Oh, sorry, I disconnected for a moment there. So, yeah, we're nearly 1 minute into game number 4 here.
Okay, what is Tim gonna do this time? Is Tim finally gonna go bio? No, he is already T2, so never mind. And we have EuWeb going for T2. I hope Tim doesn't scan. That's been awful for him so far. And okay, so EuWeb just makes the one Reaper, hasn't really committed to anything, and he's still deciding if he wants the T2 or not.
Yeah.
Okay, mass adept coming out of PewPew. No, barely any stalkers this time. This is what I'd like to see against Joe, who's just committing to mass marine. The stalkers are
he
not...
has.
Yeah.
Yeah, whole game long, whole series long, Joe has been making mostly marines, so it's a correct call. 1 sentry and the adepts with just a couple of stalkers is going to take the W here, no problem.
Yeah, about time. About time. He's been making way too many stalkers that I don't think he needs. But also even add an extra sentry, I would say. This is a lot of damage. Okay, scans going down from both sides, so they're both scanning each other. And it's going to be Marine against Marines. But this time the top team is winning. Now let's see, Readoubt still has to clear this, and he will get the clear on B. Let's see if he can do any damage at all to EuWeb. Okay, yeah, some damage Marines. That makes a huge difference. But Tim, okay, they're both T2, so let's see how this works out.
Stimming here, and
okay, Tim wins. Yeah, that little bit of damage on 3 units can go a very, very long way. And they're both T2, they're both Marines. Now PewPew is going to be able to win this. He already has +1 on the adepts, so that's going to make the adepts double kill. Just take 2 attacks to kill a Marine.
he has 1 attack and 1 armor on the adepts, so a bit of a heavy investment on the upgrades there, but no problem at the end of the day to take it.
Yeah, that's what he has to do. He has to get 1 upgrade per round. I think that's very well played. Next round he can get the adept shades, the adept glaives, and with that he should be fine. And now Readout is gonna win. Okay, so this is looking really good for the Shadow Crows, man. Like they're just winning on every front.
Yeah, but why is Readout? He has divided his army. The Marauders are front, and then the Reapers are full back.
Okay, so some upgrade disparity. Tim got +1 armor while EuWeb got +1 attack. I'm not sure why Tim got +1 armor there, but
yeah, I prefer the attack as well.
I think it makes a difference. And now these adepts are gonna have a fantastic time. 2 adepts, 2 sentries from PewPew finally. That's something you don't get to see every day. PewPew making 2 adepts, but that's gonna be ginormous. And now the adepts are gonna do a lot of damage against B. B's army is gonna get clumped up, and Readout should have a fantastic time against us. As long as he...
Sorry, you can see. Go on, go on.
Yeah, he's fighting too close to the cannon, and the cannon is contributing a lot.
It's gonna go down, and yeah, and we see Joe's reaction. Joe's reaction upon seeing that many adepts is instant tier 2. Okay, he realizes that Marines will not be able to win versus adepts, but yeah, is EuWeb going to be able to break here through? No, it's not going to be enough at the end, but it was very, very close. Only the Liberator survives here, and Joe will kill it before it kills any Marines. 1 does go down, so I mean, no scan, no.
You say it went close. It's only 1 lib, but it's a lib. You know, like 5 minutes in the game, a lib can be catastrophic leak, but maybe not against full bio, right? Full Marines.
Yeah, it's only because it was versus full Marine, and it does have to siege that I say it was only 1 lib, but I think Joe needed a scan there versus PewPew. I don't think he would win, but this is now really a hard task. Yeah, okay, EuWeb.
Okay, EuWeb did what he had to do, right? He sold his Marines for libs. He needs a stacking unit, not a a pushing army. Or he needs a stacking army, not a pushing army. So the Marines are
And
not
now
really good when you're behind, but these libs can stack and they're doing a great job. This is a pretty big stack. Oh, and also this is a huge issue. Although Joe's army is getting completely wiped out, PewPew only has 9 stalkers. Let's see how 9 stalkers trade out against 4 libs.
he did make a round of stalkers, now realizing that Joe will go tier 2, that in the adept count has reached really the maximum you want to get. But now I'm curious to see what is Temilian's reaction upon seeing the sell from Vikings. So he's making Vikings, he just made the first one. I was just about to say the strategy that has proved to be very hard to overcome is to deny the lib stacking with a lot of Vikings, and we can expect Readoubt to be making some anti-air mech units here to follow to prevent this. What EuWeb is doing now, just dancing the libs and sieging on marauders who cannot shoot up. So let's see if they can make another stack here. I think they'll stack a few liberators here because it's only 1 Viking. Okay, 4 libs, but 1 is very low. Let's see.
Okay, yeah, that was not a great siege from EuWeb. I think he could have sieged a lot further in.
And the blink. Oh, it's gonna be close. Close. And the libs are going to survive here, leaking into Readout's incoming army. Oh, this could be a comeback here on the cards. Yeah. Readout is very marine light, so these liberators. Yeah, no chance here for Readout. Just those liberators kill like 20-ish units, 3 at a time, and it's just no contest.
Yeah, but Temilian's Vikings dancing around, I'm not sure why.
Oh, smartly done by EuWeb, matching the Viking count here is going to buy his libs some time.
No, Tim has 4 Vikings.
No, but he started Vikings as well. EuWeb, he didn't stick to liberators.
Yeah, but now Tim is gonna stack with PewPew, but I'm not sure how strong it's gonna be because there's so many Marines from Joe and.
But there is so many. Yeah, it's and the Raven is here revealing the hallucinations. Did PewPew? Yeah, I'm not really sure what.
Are still gonna survive, but the clump from Reed is just. That's the absolute worst when your army just gets clumped into that tiny.
Everything
ball.
Gets thrown all with the Reaper bombs and just. It's still not gonna be a devastating loss, but it's gonna be a solid loss here for Readout. Yeah, we see 5 Marauders surviving. And it's 4 Vikings to 6 Vikings.
Okay, let's see these.
Yeah, I just feel Temilian has the superior army here with the Viking count. What's gonna kill Temilian's Vikings? Nothing. That's the answer.
Yeah, now the stalkers are gonna blink front. They catch the libs, they catch everything, so it's all gonna go down. Joe tried to make some Vikings to help save the air unit, their air army from EuWeb. The thing is, like, EuWeb.
And now when the Ravens go down, then the Marines will shoot the hallucinations, and yes, no chance.
Yeah, because the issue is that EuWeb had to sell bio, right? Like, Tim didn't have to sell anything, so his army's just bigger. He has more things, and eventually more things beat less things. They also have the bunker mineral advantage, right? They killed bunker.
Yeah.
So that provides a nice.
And you know, look at the game from look at the game from Temilian's perspective here. So. His opponent sold, and sold to what? Sold to air, so he can just Viking all day with the income advantage, the value advantage from the sell-off, and that's exactly what he's doing. We see him marching up to 8 Vikings, wouldn't be surprised to shoot some.
Because of the way the game started, he already has the bio army, right? Like, usually you're like, oh, should I make more air, should I make bio? But he already has bio, so he can just focus down on the Vikings as well. And like, Vikings are pretty awful against some races, like for example, Vikings are absolutely awful against Zerg, right? Like, Vikings just trade very poorly against Mutas. But there's no Zerg here, right? So it's just Terrans. So you can feel free to make as many Vikings as you want. There's a Terran before, a Terran, like you face the Terran before your wave, a Terran in your wave, and the Terran after your wave. literally you can just keep making Vikings.
Yeah, exactly. And it's hard, you know, because there's no way to. And I mean, it's not only making Vikings is good versus Terran. It's making Vikings when the Terran's air is the only hope for them to come back. So they're effectively just shutting the door for these liberators here. And look, now a lot of Vikings here for Joe showed up, but it's still not going to be enough. So it's going to do.
I don't know. This is looking like a pretty good army. 6 libs, a lot of
Yeah, but
Marines.
Hugh has Storm and he has so many Stalkers. The Marines are gonna go down in seconds, and then the Stalkers are just gonna blink in. And I feel they're gonna just obliterate these Liberators here. Will it be in time?
I'm not sure
Yeah,
if
the
it's...
said. Yeah, the blink. Pew will blink on them. No, he won't, but he will
Okay,
kill
yeah.
them in time.
And now the issue
One
is
win.
the same backwards now. It's B. Oh, B stimmed everything. B stimmed to death. He's trying to get his army cleared as soon as possible so that
Yeah,
EuWeb can try to stack on the Nexus. That was a kind of an interesting play there.
Yep.
So EuWeb is going to
Land.
get his stack
UWeb
right on the
land.
Nexus.
Yes, he does.
Nexus below
He's
50% HP now, so that's a lot of damage. The Vikings landed did help this.
I don't die, but they have exhausted the Nexus. It has to happen like now, this or the next wave, or they're dead. But the Vikings, so many Vikings here, but so many lips here as well. So it's 8 lips versus.
Yeah, and I'm not sure Pew has the army to deal with this, right? Like,
But he has almost 30 stalkers here.
Yeah, but he blinked
I
front.
think.
They're gonna These stalkers are
Yeah,
gonna
he's
disappear very
taking a
quickly.
lot of flack from the. I don't think he has the numbers here, man. This could be a turnaround.
Yeah, he doesn't really have the army to deal with these 8 libs. Oh,
Oh,
no,
EuWeb went alone, but yeah, but Readout has so few Marines. This is not gonna pan out well for him. Yeah, the Liberators rule here, but we still have to see these units will time out.
Will
And
they're gonna get enough
I'm
damage.
watching Temilian's Vikings here because EuWeb doesn't have a lot of Vikings. And I still think that Temilian will come ahead here because EuWeb, you see, despite of the leak, he just has nothing to deal with these insane amount. It's 15 Vikings.
Yeah, on a clean wave, EuWeb absolutely cannot deal with Tim. That's what we're seeing right now.
No.
Like, even with a little bit of leak, there's no way EuWeb can deal with Tim's wave. And Tim holds on strong, gets the clean, and now it's gonna be, I think, a pretty comfortable ride from here. They cannot they were using the Nexus health as a resource to try to stack, but now there's barely any health on the Nexus. So if they try to do that one more time, they're gonna get, I think the Nexus is gonna get killed. So, this is such a bad spot to be in for the Pyjama Warriors.
I think this is game over. EuWeb does get out a battle cruiser, but it's not gonna be game here. But I don't see anything coming through this wall of Vikings from Temilian.
Yep, these are.
I think he does need to pad more army on the ground. I think he needs more, or to buy more time so the Vikings get shot later by the Marines. But even here, it's only five Liberators, and it's crunch time for the storms on the Marines and the blink front. Protoss has of all its liabilities, it does have tremendous first strike capability. So when the storms go off and the disruptors go off and the stalkers blink in and the void rays charge up, and they tend to do a lot of damage that way. So PewPew doesn't have a problem with dealing with small. Yeah.
You got a question in the chat. So Thunder Horse is asking, what's your share made of?
What's
your share? What's it made of?
Oh, sorry, I think I got lost in the American slang there.
Share? What
chair? Oh, I realized I heard share. What's my chair made of? It's made of it's made of metal. Oh, they're hearing my chair. Oh, sorry.
No. I think it's because Thunderhorse said, I wonder what Nedved's chair looks like, hand-carved in the Slovenian oak forests of Croatia.
Oh, it's creaking. I think they hear the chair creaking as I get excited about the game. It started creaking. It started creaking like 2 days ago. It's an old office chair I have in this computer room, and yeah, I need to spray some W40 on it for sure.
Okay, these doors are +3 doors. I like this from Reed for it. +3 doors. You can see that the BCs are just completely disappearing. The battle cruisers.
Yep, and as the Taurus number rise, and it's the same combination of anti-air mech denial of Taurus with Bio coming in first, and then Temilian coming in with 6 metric tons of Vikings just shooting everything out of the air.
Yeah, the Viking count just like all the libs got clean. Now the Marines get stormed. What's the High Templar kill count looking like? 5, 2.
No, it's not that high, not many Marines there, but I think he needs like 1 or 2 more Templar. They are great versus the next fight as well.
Yeah, beautiful right there. Look at all the bio.
Because now there's a big arc of Marines, and if they don't... So this battle, actually, the Templar didn't get a lot of hits because the Marines were kind of in a line. But in the situations where they did clump up severely, the kill counts were insane. And yeah, I'm watching the kill counts on the Templar in base. There's a Templar with 47 kills.
This Nexus is at less than 25% HP. Okay, but the bottom team is gonna get a huge stack. 10 libs survive, so this is the best chance that they're gonna get, I think, in a long time.
But it's Void Rays and Storm and Stalkers and PewPew and I don't know, man.
That's a lot of Void Rays. Now,
it's a lot of everything. It's a lot of Protoss, man.
They're not gonna clear. They're not gonna be.
No, but I still think that Readoubt has so many Thors, these Liberators. But it's a lot of bio from B. Let's see this battle
unfold. There's no damage on the B's army. Yeah, B's gonna be.
Yeah, B has a lot of bio, and Readout got down with spans down. The good old Terran players know what just happened here, so the Thor investment just fell behind the player continuing to make full bio. And what?
But that doesn't matter.
I know.
But that doesn't matter if EuWeb isn't able to clear his own wave. But
he needs to unsiege the Liberators now. He needs to go for it. Go for it, EuWeb. He does, and he will clear the Vikings here. He did get a lot of. He did get some more Marines, I think. Yeah, he has 25 Marines. Because Temilian is super light. When Temilian's ground disappears, he's only pure Viking, and if bio remains versus Liberators, the Liberators can fight some bio. But if some bio remains versus Vikings, as happened now, the Marines just obliterate the Vikings, no chance. And EuWeb here with...
Man, that one High Templar surviving got a very huge storm off, but I don't know why Readoubt started making libs again, and I don't think these libs are the right call here. I think I would have liked him to just keep adding.
Actually, no. I think Liberators are going to be okay here versus the bio numbers because he does have the Thors who can tank the ground if he does have. This is so.
Yeah, Tim is losing against EuWeb. What is happening here?
Tim needs. Yeah, he doesn't have. He's adding more Vikings. He doesn't need Vikings. He needs a battle cruiser to tank for the Marines and the air from EuWeb because look at his ground army. He has 24 Marines and he has 4 Reapers, and that's it. And the Liberators kill them fast, so there's no chance. So there's no chance for Temilian head up now. No.
The thing is, these libs from Readoubt, I really don't think they were the right call. There's Vikings leaking into him. I just think he needs more bio. You can see that Rebornbee's army is just huge now, and Readoubt doesn't have the bio army to match what Rebornbee is doing, so he's getting cleared.
But Temilian can't clear B now. Temilian can't clear B now. Temilian has nothing. You see, he's dancing the Vikings around. He can't fight his bio. That's what I'm talking about. So he has no DPS in this army. It's just Vikings designed to kill Liberators. But once enough Marines were out from EuWeb here and a couple of BCs. It's an anti-air glass cannon is Temilian's army, and while they were pushing and preventing the stack, it was good. But EuWeb managed to stack with Bio, and Temilian just couldn't cope with it. So
now
is this?
Yeah, it's a turnaround at the 20-minute mark, and it's still 5 gases to 2, so they have the mineral advantage count in their favor. But I don't know. This is looking really good for the bottom team right now. I think that the top team let this one slip.
Joe wisely not landing the Vikings, so splitting up Readout's army, and look at B's army is massive, man. He's gonna, oh sorry, massive, mate. He's going to obliterate everything here, and Temilian's armies as well. So being stung by a bee, going for mass Vikings, and yeah, he got too many Vikings, man. How many does he have? He has... Are you ready for this number? So he has 31 Vikings. Man, you don't get 31 of anything in this game unless it's Lings or Marines.
Yeah, I'm not sure how the top team is gonna get back in this game. Look, why are they all making air units? It's kind of sad to see. Now the Vikings from EskimoJoe are gonna be amazing.
No, this is... They have them by the throat here. It's...
Yeah, and Readoubt keeps adding libs. The libs are not gonna be able to deal with
feeding
what's happening
into
here.
his demise here. You should maybe even sell those for some tanks. I don't know. You need something to stop this massive clump of Bio Thor from B just driving the game home for the Pyjama Warriors and the 3-1 lead.
I kind of see what they're trying to do here. Reed is trying to use the Shadow Cross is trying to use the fact that Temilian has so many Vikings to try to stack with Reed. So Reed is trying to make a lot of libs, and then Tim is gonna try to catch him with Vikings. So that is the strategy right now. Let's see if it works out.
Yeah, but it's a lot of Vikings trying to prevent that from happening as well. It's not like when you stack with Mutas and they can tank anti-armor, bonus versus armor damage for days. Here the Vikings just do full damage, and see what's gonna save Readout's air here.
The thing is, like, B can now start adding his own Vikings.
He doesn't even need them. He has so many Marines and Thors, and the Liberators won't start shooting the Thors until all the Marines are dead. So as far as B goes, he's insanely hard for a Liberator player to crack it. This is getting sadder by the moment here, and EuWeb is adding more and more Marines here. He's up to 35 now, realizing the mistake that Temilian did, and I just don't see any opportunity here for them to come back at all.
Well, maybe here, but Tim doesn't siege, so the Vikings, the libs are not going to contribute that much.
No, it's not gonna happen here. It's Thors, Marines, and Vikings, and carriers don't want to see any of them.
Yeah, the Viking count from Joe is just completely clearing what Reed is trying to do with his libs. Okay, tier 4 from 4 players instantly, so only missing Tim and Reed. That's only gonna make it worse for the Shadow Crows right now. Yeah, and Vikings having to trade against Bio is just not a good trade, man. Vikings are 190. You absolutely cannot trade against units that cost 50 and 95 that are just better than the Vikings at dealing damage, so it's just such an awful trade there. And look at EuWeb now. EuWeb's adding doors as well. Oh man, I'm not sure what the Shadow Crows should do at this point.
Die.
Die.
No, there's just nothing they can do, and Readout's now investing so much into these libs, which they do survive, but it's 5 Liberators surviving and 10 being made, so it's not going to happen.
Oh no, BC warps back? Why? What for? Oh, to
But
not die
it's
against
kind of
BC?
rushed, so they had them by the binonkers, and Temilian just wandered off into Vikingsville and forgot about the ground. And I mean, he is doing a lot of damage to.
Actually, some libs are surviving. These are 4 libs still, 3 libs still alive. And
Yeah, but look at the Viking count from Joe. It's.
Yeah, but the libs are protected by a line of
I
carriers.
think Joe takes this regardless. There's a Thor there and a million Vikings. I think Joe just DPS's everything down. Yeah.
Yeah, the problem is I don't think Reed can clear his wave head on. Even if he gets a head-on fight, I don't think he can clear this.
Well, this is the best he's gonna get. He had a small leak.
Yeah, but I'm not sure
And
if
the
it's gonna be
Lords
enough.
are kind of doing a lot of damage, not going down, but now are getting targeted by the Thors. But they shoot the Thors down as well. Is Readout doing this? It's very close. The bottom Thor survives and it's gonna stack. They're very low. They're gonna get taken down. Are they? 1 Thor fall, 2 Thors fall, and let's see Temilian now. Will Temilian's lack of ground hurt him here, or will the Vikings be able to do their damage? The Thors are really going down.
The Thors are going down. Tim makes it work.
The massive Viking count with no leaks. The Vikings. He just managed to clear the ground in time so that the Vikings didn't get shot by a lot of bio. Even a handful like of 10ish Marines do a lot of damage versus Vikings.
I was doubting the Shadow Crows, but man, they're proving me wrong. PewPew now cleans this very easily, and this leak, it's just gonna make it harder. Now PewPew is so comfortable that he takes a 3rd gas, so I think this is really showing that they feel they're far ahead. And now, yeah, Reed is gonna clean
and
this.
And the Liberators, man, the Libs. So he was stubborn. He continued to make them, and he managed to wait out until he got a wave where his Liberators, some managed to stack, and then he carved out. With the Liberators doing some damage, he managed to carve out a decent opportunity next battle. He had only a small leak readout, and he managed to trade equally, even stacking some low health Thors. So he created the opportunity for himself. He took it, he leveled it off, and then his team, Temilian, just managed to take on EuWeb.
Shadow Crows put themselves in a very uncomfortable position. They were so far ahead, and then they kind of got the rug pulled under them, and they started losing. But now they're making it back. Like they turned this back in their favor.
That's 8 carriers destroying everything here and splitting the army, and Readout just. And also what they're doing is keeping the Marines and Thors back, so the Thors arrive to battle with the siege liberation zones awaiting them, and all the bio and Thor from Readout. And yeah, I don't want to eat my words again, but I don't think the bottom team can come back now.
No, actually, so very interesting thing happened. They scanned EuWeb, and EuWeb is on 4 gas, and they did realize that. Shadow Crows did, and now PewPew is on 4 gases as well. So the gas count is in favor of the top team. Well, right now the gas count. Yeah, right now the in theory, like it's what, 7, 9 to 10 gases.
No, the bottom team Nova. The bottom it's 10-10. So Temilian has only 2 gas.
Right, so it's 9 to 10.
Oh yeah, sorry. It's the bottom team has more gas.
Yes, but the top team has that middle for just way longer.
Yeah.
Yeah, now the army from Rebornbee is getting cleared.
No, with so many Terrans in the game, there's really a low possibility of this ending up in a 40-minute game. because of all the DPS here. I think if this goes on for another 5 minutes, it's just gonna be Marauders on the base in your face.
Can EuWeb
Well, EuWeb is stacking here. Yeah, he will manage to stack some, but yeah, the Vikings have such a long range, they don't really save the libs.
Nope, all the libs
just...
went down.
Yeah.
And now the storms are gonna be here for the Marines. Yep, they get completely obliterated. Blink front even, that's how comfortable PewPew is. He has how many carriers? 12 carriers with +3.
I wish he had a couple of more storms just to be sure that those Marines go down in time, but with all the carrier DPS with +3 attack is just doing so much damage, and we see the Liberators from Reed sieging no problem, the Marines arrive to their death, and the Thors die, and the Vikings are going to go down as well.
I thought this, to be honest, like after watching the upper bracket finals, it was a 3-0 snooze fest kind of, like Pyjama Warriors did really, really well. But now, man, it might get to 2-2, and this has been a very interesting finals, more than I could have ever predicted.
Yeah, and not to take any sides here, but of course, cast-wise, 2-2 is a much more exciting scoreline than 3-1. So
or 3-0.
yeah, I'm not disappointing to see a close series whatsoever here. Enjoying it a lot. Oh, the storms are good, the stalkers are good, the voiders and the carriers are good. I do think PewPew should add some immortals here just to be sure that he kills this in time.
I don't think he's gonna add immortals. I think he's gonna fill his area with just carriers.
With carriers.
Yes. It's PewPew, man. Like, what else is he gonna make?
Yeah.
He really likes his Golden Armada army. Dude, this is 17 libs from EuWeb, all sieging on the Nexus, so he's trying his hardest. He has no means giving up just yet.
It's a lot of Thor's arc here. It's really hard to do. You have to siege like 300 degrees here. Not 300, but like a full 180 here almost. And
yeah, look at that.
Hard.
The PCs are tanking like a champ for the libs. So the Vikings just have so much extra time to be able to deal with all the air army from the bottom team. They just get completely cleared. And then it's just a ragtag group of Marines and Thors to spread out. I'm surprised PewPew hasn't added any immortals. I really wish he would have some immortals, since he's basically
he could also hit some of these Marauders as well. Their first row would get targeted by their mortals first, but even so as it is, he's splitting the army, and it's Marauders, so Readoubt is facing Marauders, and then he's facing Thors and Vikings. So he's facing B's army in divided, and that B army that seemed so invincible like 7-8 minutes ago, now being split and being torn apart here to pieces by Readout's mech.
Okay, tier 4 instantly from 3 players. Tier 4 level 3. So 3 players still missing. Okay, B's finally tier 4 level 3. Yeah, it's the 35-minute mark. We might not end this game just because look at the gas count. 12-12 actually. So this might be a 40-minute game. Both teams are trying to win on minerals, but that only favors the top teams, to be honest, because the top team has had metal for just longer. So they might not be able to kill the Nexus outright, but the bottom team is on a clock. They need to make this happen in 4 minutes. That's a lot of Thors, and these Thors, they don't have +3. Not sure why. With that many Thors, you'd think he would have +3, but Dancing Vikings from Tim. Yeah, but look, you see that how fast the game starts going when it's at the 35-minute mark. These units are just so freaking fast. No +3 attack on the Stalkers. But this game is gonna get over pretty quickly very soon. I think we're gonna get to the 40-minute mark though. So 3 minutes and this game will be over.
I probably thought they would be able to kill them, but
it's triple Terran and everyone's on 4 gas.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone's gonna kill anyone here. I'm not sure. And then look at Readout's army. Maybe if Reed had more Marauders, maybe, or there were more in bio. But with so many air units are just not good at killing Nexuses. Okay, 15 lip stack. Okay, a lot of the libs are still alive. It's 8 libs still alive.
No chance here, man.
No chance?
No chance.
Yeah, it doesn't look like there's any chance. The Marines just go front, they die first. The Storms, then the Stalkers can clean everything. And there's 19 carriers. My game is... even my StarCraft is starting to lag a little bit. There's so many units here.
Some more devastating ground, some disruptors, immortals. He perhaps could have cracked the base, but I mean, this is the correct, instead of making 19 carriers, but this is working as well, so.
Readout has so many Thors. Okay, and this might be it. Is the Nexus finally gonna go down? And no, it gets saved. So now 39 minutes. So every player only gets 1 round from here on out. It's 1 more round from each team, and then the game is over. This is the last time that Beast is gonna spawn. Let's see what we can do. He has a lot of Vikings. And he is able to clean the carriers, but then comes Readout's wave, and he's gonna clear this no problem. Pretty gases. Yeah, some players have colorful gases. They look very nice. Okay,
I like these guys.
Only 5 more seconds and the game is over. Shadowcrow's
No, it's actually not. It's more than 40. It's 40 and what seconds? Something 10 or 12 or something like that.
Yeah, but the game is over.
Yeah, the game is over, of course. 10 seconds. So we see a 3.3k difference.
Okay, GG is called, and Shadowcrows takes game number 4, tying us up to 2-2. So it's basically down to a best of 3 now.
I'm really curious to see how Readout is going to play this, how he's going to address EuWeb's air, and how PewPew is going to respond to being tried to be stacked upon by EuWeb. Yeah, I'm really excited for this game. A million combinations in my head going on, but let's see. It's fully loaded up, and let's see if what's on the production tab. Of course, no surprise here to seeing tier 2 from EuWeb, and Temilian is going to be the one going tier 2.
Okay, so Shadowcrow's on the top team, so top left is going to be PewPew, top is Readout, and top left is Tim. Bottom left is B, so that's a switch. And it's EuWeb on the bottom now, and bottom right is EskimoJoe. Now, I'm very curious to see those bottom two lanes, right? Like the middle and bottom lane, I think are gonna be the one that are most different. B's just gonna open Marines, so I think PewPew already knows what to do. That's gonna be a repeat of what happened last game for him, I think. So he's just gonna keep printing adepts.
No, I think he's going to be stingy on the adept count here because he will need to counter EuWeb's Liberators going after that, and if he makes a lot of adepts, that could hurt him in the long run.
If
I mean, he
makes,
is making adepts
yeah,
for now, but I think
he's
he's gonna
get
stop
wrecked.
it like. Yeah, but he's going to. He can win it with a blend of stalkers and adepts. I think he's going to make like 8 or 9 adepts, and then he's going to stop and make stalkers only.
I mean, okay, so EuWeb and Reed still haven't committed to anything. Now let's see. They have 10 seconds on the clock. Let's see what they commit to. Let's see this. Okay, adepts should be able to clear this out. So many Marines, man. Okay, that they die, and now. Okay, EuWeb commits the bio. No, that's the wrong army. That he doesn't need this. Readout is on bio as well. Reed gets.
Can by Temilian. Okay. Oh, you have made bio. That's the wrong choice. Yes, man. I was watching Joe get scanned here and revealing the. Oh, EuWeb, are you sure you want to do this?
And then now Tim is full Marines against Joe. Joe doesn't even have combat shields. Joe doesn't have Okay, he just got combat shields. Oh wait, Tim got wrecked? Oh, I think this might be because Tim is T2? Is that why? That
Tim is Tier 2, yeah.
He got wrecked. That shouldn't have happened. Oh, I think this is gonna make it harder for PewPew. Now let's see, PewPew has to clear this. Is he gonna get the job done? He doesn't have glaives. He has +1 though. Okay, he gets the job done. That's it. I think. Yep. +1 attack. +1 attack. Okay, yeah. Readout is 1-1 against EuWeb. That's only +1. So, and with a Stalker League, he's gonna get completely cleared. But I gotta say, man, like, EskimoJoe has more Marines than Tim.
You know, I wanted to say that I think EuWeb, the cannon was gonna go down, and I think EuWeb needs to stop this and go air because they're gonna lose the game.
Okay, yeah, this is over. Temilian cleared this no problem. Joe was not able to clear that very important wave that he needed to get cleared. And yeah, like you said, if there's no changes, this bio army from EuWeb is just not gonna cut it. I think he needed to go back to his strengths of live micro. He was kind of expecting Reed to go T2 because Reed didn't make anything the first wave, but it did not pan out. Look at how comfortable the top team is. They already have all of them have 1 gas, and there's still no cell from the bottom team. They're trying to sniff out. You can see that there was a scan for Joe, trying to sniff out who's gonna scan. But
EuWeb just started a long march. It's going to be to come back in this game. I think he's gonna keep the bio. It's 30 Marines. He panicked because he saw that PewPew was stacking some stalkers and that the cannon was in danger, but
I think they tried to play a mind game. Like, okay, so EuWeb is usually the one that goes T2 from their team, right? So EuWeb put himself in the middle, trying to make the Shadow Crows think that he was gonna go libs. He was trying to pull a fast one. It's like, oh, I'm gonna go libs, and then boom, bio. But Readout had his own bio, so then that kind of cancels each other out, right? And so they don't really get that advantage from having EuWeb in the middle with libs. And yep, sorry, go ahead.
No, I wanted to say, yeah, when you can trick a Zerg, you can trick a Protoss, but What, you're tricking a Terran into doing what? He makes Marines and you don't make libs, you make Marines as well. You don't get any kind of edge, you get an equal fight at best, so and if
Well, he was
yeah, it's
expecting
just
Readoubt to make maybe like a Raven, you know, catch him off guard with a Raven. Like kind of like
yeah,
the
but
game one.
Readout didn't go tier 2. Yeah,
Oh,
it
Tim's
was
gonna
a
lose? Tim lost.
but why did Tim yeah, he needed to continue.
What's happening here?
Yeah, he went tier 2 and then he invested 1,000 minerals into Liberators instead of making more bio and
Wait,
carving
that's
out the advantage with the
yeah,
upgrades.
that's a lot of
And you
stalkers.
can't go bio lib. Yeah.
That's a lot of stalkers getting cleared. What's happening here?
Yeah, they
Okay, but EuWeb sold. If he stayed bio, maybe he could have pushed this easier. But maybe he can still clear this.
he's gonna win this because there's like 6 or 7 Reapers here. I think this was the correct timing to sell.
Really?
But yeah, and Temilian is coming in with
PewPew
yeah, this is
overconfident
gonna
with
be
that 2 gas.
no,
Really?
this is impossible. This is impossible to catch by to win for Temilian here.
Yeah, that 2 gas not really not paying off here.
Yeah.
I'm not sure 2 gas there from PewPew was the right call. You can see that their armies are just smaller now. And with the bio army,
Yeah, but
it's really bad at if you're losing, the bio army is really hard to come back. But if you just make gases and stop making units, then suddenly it can work. Yeah,
yeah, Temilian had he researched tier 2 early and then just continued making bio a bit and then splashed it all on Liberators, and the bio lib army can't really take a full bio army on at tier 1. And yeah, if his opponent was tier 2 as well, maybe, but this ended up costing him dearly as Joe didn't keep a beat and
also, I would like to
still
see Tim getting +1 armor. Oh, there we go. Okay, +1 armor for the air. That's really huge. You can see that the lib's just surviving a lot longer against the Marines.
yeah.
But look at this
But
army
it's
from
still
A. That's a hilarious looking army. How many Marines?
Yeah, I
do you
think
every
we
guy
should add some Marauders here because the Stalkers, the 14-minute thing I was talking about, the when Stalkers can stack, it happens when it's mostly Marines, and then if it's not enough Marauders, then and we see here 4 Stalkers surviving, and yeah, and this is the scenario I was talking to you about in houses where PewPew wins. So he stacks the Stalkers. And then if the next player is an air mech player, which EuWeb is now, he has a hard time dealing with both Marines and Stalkers blinking on his flank. To cover all with the Liberation Zones is very challenging. Can Tim now
Yeah, these are
capitalize
+2 armor
on
libs.
his 2 armor? Yeah, he's gonna take this then. The Resiege, do the Resiege. Resiege, you need the Resiege.
Yeah. And now B's never in a million years gonna win this fight.
No chance. The armor is there and the shields as well, so
Marauders
doing a lot of
their appearance.
Yeah, but they're not gonna change this battle because the Liberators just picking off unit after unit and the Stalkers buying time, what they do best. So EuWeb here, yeah, it's quite hard for him. It's Vikings and Marines and Stalkers trying all to kill your libs, and it's nigh impossible to prevent it all. So yeah, the early mistake from Temilian when he was caught in mid transition to air and lost got negated by PewPew making a
Yeah, and you can see like the high Marine count from Joe is there, but the Reaper grenades just completely negate the damage of the Marines. Like the Marines can't shoot if they're bouncing around, walking around. So
oh my god, the siege is disgusting here from Temilian, and he's going to do so much damage, and all of the Liberators, or most of them, are going to survive here.
29 Stalkers surviving with those 5 libs. There's no way EuWeb's
Yeah.
army is gonna do anything.
No,
So blink
no, they're
forward.
going to. Even the stalkers are gonna kill the libs, and the libs are going to do some damage to the Vikings. And yeah, it's more solidifying the lead further. Also, with Pew being pure stalker, he can somewhat negate the advantage that EuWeb is banking his complete air mech play on, and that is to siege on the stalkers. So Pew and will for sure be blinking back when the time comes for. So now after this battle, we see now B probably is going to clear Temilian's air, and now watch Pew's army. So he's not going to blink forward or anything like that to deny EuWeb the chance to siege on the base.
Yeah, you can see that B stemmed all his army to try to die as quick as possible, and now Pew blinks front to try to die as quick as possible. Storm on the libs doing a lot of damage, so all the libs are getting softened up. They are going to stack though, however, and it is 8 libs.
Sell those units, yeah.
8 libs is not a joke. The Vikings from Reed are kind of spread. Let's see.
It's 10 Vikings still, but the bio is going down, so the Marines are gonna kill the Vikings, and it's gonna be 3. Yeah, it's not gonna be enough. It's 3 Liberators, and 2 of them are very low, so.
Yeah, the libs from Tim are gonna have a good time cleaning these libs. The libs from EuWeb, well, both libs are +2 armor, so they barely do any damage to each other. But the issue is, like,
yeah,
even
the thing is here, Temilian doesn't have any Vikings, so there's no way for him to clear EuWeb's Liberators, and
yeah, the thing is,
it's a
like,
good thing.
Tim can't clear EuWeb's libs, but EuWeb can't clear Tim's libs. And Tim's libs are doing a lot more damage than EuWeb's libs are doing, because he just has more libs.
Yeah, and libs do more damage to bio because they just start lowering the bio numbers and DPS straight away, while with Liberators versus Stalkers, with 0 attack, they take 3 shots to kill a Stalker, so the Stalker numbers don't really start falling as fast, and then, and also Temilian had more Liberators there as well. But, yeah, I think Joe is, well, Joe is starting making Vikings. Temilian is, of course, but is also. Oh, he has 3 Vikings of his own. I thought there was only 1 Viking. It's gonna be a closer fight than we might expect.
It's the same issue, man. It's 1 lib from EuWeb stacking, but it's 4 libs.
Oh, EuWeb is not microing the lib, yeah, but I mean, yeah. Pew's army is really good now. The storm timing perfect, same as game number 1 when he was facing the bio, and he's going to be able to do massive damage here to EuWeb's air, killing yeah, or he'll kill all the bio, blink, kill a Liberator or 2, and now the Vikings from Readout come in and start picking up the last of those Liberators, denying the comeback chance once more, and the anti-armor missile goes down as well. And see how much time the ground is buying for the Vikings. The air is cleared, and now Temilian's Liberators reign supreme. There are only little yellow and orange people with guns on the ground which cannot shoot the air fleet.
It's Vikings from everyone, right? Yep, it's a full-on air fight. Everyone having Vikings.
Yeah, Joe adding as well. Joe is adding more and more Vikings. So do we have Shadow Crows here turning the tables completely on the Pyjama Warriors after going down 2-1 early in the series and being really up against the wall in game number 4, where the Pyjama Warriors threatened to go 3-1 up in the series and take a stranglehold on the game. Now we see the Shadow Crows really pushing it back. Are they pushing too hard? Will EuWeb be able to stack here?
No chance. It's only 5 libs and they're all very damaged.
I mean 5 libs, but there is not a lot here from Temilian to kill the libs.
But Tim has 8 libs.
Yeah, he has more libs, but but Joe has more Vikings
Okay,
and the
maybe if
libs.
they
Oh,
siege.
look
That
at-
was an awful siege.
oh, this could be interesting. Now 2 carriers do arrive, and
Yeah, that was a
yeah,
pretty bad siege from Tim. He needed to scan
yeah,
his
I
siege
think
first.
we needed far more marauders here. The stalker count is crazy here. So even though they won in the air, it's this going to be a.
No, no,
It's
no
so
shot.
close, man. Because UWeb's libs are now expiring here. No, they're gonna go
So
down. Yeah, one
EuWeb was able to
expires.
turn the game around last time because Temilian barely had any bio-army, and then by the time that EuWeb started adding his own bio-army, Tim didn't realize and he got caught off guard. But Readout already has a bio-army, so I don't think he's gonna get caught off guard quite the same way. And now Temilian has a BC, so BCs just take infinite amounts of damage from Marines. These libs are gonna go uncontested. Yeah, there's
Really
nothing
well done
stopping
there
these
by
libs.
Readout. That was a dangerous position where he had the correct number of Vikings, where he just managed to clear UWeb's Vikings before B arrived with his army to save him. And yeah, we see Temilian stacking here Liberators again, solidifying the lead, and with 3 carriers out and some Vikings in the air surviving as well, I don't see this being the way where
Ned,
UWeb will be able to
look at the
stack.
gas count. Look at the gas count. 7-0.
Oh my God! They are at 0 gas. The income is just.
Okay, it's 7-1 now. But then you have to count in middle, right? Which gives you basically 6 gases. So it's 7 plus 6, that's 13 to 1. Okay, so they just call GG. Okay, they know it's over. They just leave the game. They know they have no chance at coming back to this. And they leave. GG is called. And Shadow Crows takes game number 5, putting themselves 1 map away from winning this tournament. I think this is the most that Pyjama Warriors have bleeded throughout the whole match. Throughout the whole tournament. They've only lost 1 map getting this far, and now they're getting contested really heavily. And I don't think they were expecting it because they 3-0'd Shadow Crows in the upper bracket finals. But I think this is a different Shadow Crow from that time, man. Like, this is just a different team at this point. Come, Jenny. Awesome. Ned, you're excited for what could potentially be the last game of this tournament?
Yeah, so back when I was young, when this tournament started, I was really looking forward to to this game, and yeah, I'm
This tournament
sorry.
was supposed to end on the final week of February. It's been 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks. 4 weeks.
Sorry, what?
This tournament was supposed to end on the end, at the end of February.
Yeah,
Yeah. About
it's
that.
because Sucks bought a week with he couldn't play, and then there was a week delay. I just feel like, you know, we should have some kind of.
There were like 3-week delays, dude. Like, or 3 or 4 week delay from like multiple different teams. I think everyone at some point just needed a week of that they couldn't play, and it just what am I gonna do?
Yeah. Oh my god. I'm so cranky. No, not cranky. How do you? I'm a bit.
Cranky.
No. Cranky is a bad word. It sounds like a similar word in Croatian to describe it. So I'm kind of.
Excited?
You don't have a word for fiaca. It's like, do you know when you're like in the middle of the afternoon or just before evening, and then you're just like sitting and you're like, it's like you have no energy and you're just. We have a term for that. We call it fiaca. And then after you eat as well, and in the, it's a bit late for fiaca now, but it happens you like eat your lunch and then it's from like 4 to 6 in the afternoon. You're like digesting the food and laying down and doing nothing and not being able to do anything and just
I
and
know the
feeling.
feeling you mean. I'm not sure what's the right word. Maybe Shad can help us.
Well, you're vegan, so I don't think you experience the fiaca as much. But fiaca usually happens when you eat a lot and then and drink a lot of wine, and then you're just full and you can't move. And yeah, we have a term, and it's actually describes quite a pleasant feeling.
But wait, Ned.
Actually,
Oh, sorry. Finish your thought, but then there's something exciting I want to tell you.
oh, tell me.
It's going to be a mirror match this time.
Oh, EuWeb is going to play Protoss.
Okay,
Oh
so
my.
sixth game is going to be a different match guaranteed. It's going to be
Oh,
a
it's
Protoss
going to
mirror.
be EuWeb versus PewPew in a PvP. This is going to be so exciting. I can't wait to see this. They're both very good at it. PewPew has more experience, but EuWeb is very smart. He knows how to detect and find some small exploits within the game, which translates well to PvP, being it like with the stalker dancing and small stuff you can do. It's usually won by the player who does the small things better, and EuWeb is good at doing the small things. So,
Yeah,
but
but
yeah, Pew
this is gonna
Pew
be
is Pew Pew. So let's see.
it's gonna be Temilian against B, so that's the first time we get this match. Joe versus Readout, also the first time we get
The
to see
old
this.
North America match, Joe versus Readout here in the finals. Imagine that.
And then EuWeb
Yeah.
against PewPew. This is gonna be exciting on every single lane. I can't wait to see what happens. Protoss versus Protoss is gonna be very different. Protoss versus Protoss is a very strange matchup. There's just so many ways to play it, right? Like you can go mass zealot, you can go mass stalkers, you can go some disruptor shenanigans. Like we might get to see some disruptors this time. There's so many things that could happen. I'm really excited. I can't wait to see what happens.
The PvP is going to be heavily influenced by the TVT before that, so Temilian and Rebornbee, we of course know what the small leaks being exploited by the stalkers to blink back does to a game, so we have to keep an eye especially on that. So Rebornbee not really that known for playing air, but he can play air of course, Temilian being here more seasoned with both bio and air. And of course, the outcome of that battle will determine who gets the blink back. I think we're seeing bio from Joe and Readout no matter what. To follow the stalkers, you know.
Okay, what potentially could be the final game of this match, of this whole tournament. It's the last life that the Pyjama Warriors have. If they lose this, they're gonna be the runner-ups of this tournament. Very exciting, very exciting. I can't wait to see what happens. It's gonna be fresh. We haven't seen
And
this before.
Looking at this, I wouldn't be surprised. I'm feeling the 4-2 here. I think it's match point. Pew is so relentless, and it's a PvP. It's a matchup he likes to play, and EuWeb being quite cold. This is his first Protoss game. He's been playing Terran the whole. Oh, just you and me, my man. Oh, it's all yes, yes.
Okay, so just
Oh,
quickly,
yes.
top left we have EuWeb, top we have EskimoJoe, and top right we have Rebornbee. So the top team is the Pyjama Warriors. Bottom left we have PewPewPrincess. Bottom we have Readout, and bottom right we have Tim. So Shadow Crows is at the bottom. Both bottom lanes are going T2, so that's gonna be Rebornbee going T2. Is he gonna finish it? Let's find out. And
Yeah,
he does
he is.
finish it. Yep. So bottom team is bottom lane are both T2. That's gonna be very interesting to swat. So see, EuWeb opens with a Zealot. So already a major difference. Oh, actually, they both open the same. Never mind. Okay,
Yeah, the Zealot is there. The Zealot is there to win if the other guys goes full Stalker, but if you go full Stalker, you get the benefit of the full blink back with the leaks. It's PvP is different depending on the other races. So if a Terran comes after, you can play a certain way. If a Zerg comes, it's a bit different, but
okay, so we can start seeing a little bit of difference between the teams. You can see that EskimoJoe is Marine Reaper, while Readout is basically Mass Marauder at this point. Let's see how the Protoss engages. And EuWeb looks like he's gonna get the better side of this engagement by a lot. It's a lot of extra stalkers.
yeah, PewPew doesn't have blink.
And Readoubt doesn't have stim either. Like he doesn't have stim. He doesn't have +1 attack. He only has +1 armor.
Yeah, PewPew doesn't have blink.
Yeah, but neither does EuWeb.
Oh.
Okay, and we have a lib flying around. Oh, dude, this is huge. Temilian's on 3 Ravens while
Yes.
B is on no Raven, so he's going to get completely obliterated.
Yeah, but Temilian needs to follow this up with some Marines, because if B now goes full Marines, Marine Liberator will beat Liberator Raven.
Yeah, but I think this is gonna be enough to put the advantage in their favor. Now, PewPew with a blink front catches some of Temilian's army, and EuWeb's army is getting eliminated. If EuWeb can manage to stack, this can be pretty good for the top team. This is looking so close, but look at all the stalkers surviving. I'm not sure that blink front was a good one because that's so many marauders.
Oh man, but yeah, and another massive thing here. So Rebornbee made the Marines and Temilian stuck to air. So the scenario I was talking about was going to occur here. So Temilian takes no damage here, but look at this battle now. There is nothing to contest the Marines from B. They're going to kill the turrets. Oh, will the libs? Oh, no, they don't have stims, so they won't be able to do... No, it's not going to be enough.
Yeah, and PewPew manages... He goes front and blinks front as well to catch Temilian's army, and now it's going to be 2 armies against 1. Let's see how the lib micro is going to go.
Yes, he does.
Okay, the libs are not going to do anything in this fight because they can't siege on top of the stalkers, so there is not going to be any damage there. But the libs, if they can maybe do some damage against Joe's wave... no, the blinks aren't there. Sorry, the siege libs aren't there. And
This is gonna be close.
It's 1-1
I think the bottom team has this. No, yes, the bottom team has this. Yeah.
Yeah, the extra stalkers really doing some damage there, I think. Okay, now B has 2 Vikings, but okay, Temilian's adding Reapers. Okay, yeah, against the Marines, of course, that makes sense.
The bombs? Did he throw the bombs? He didn't, I think, throw the bombs, or did he?
Oh, turrets! Oh, the turrets aren't quite there. The blink front kills the turret, and the libs might go down. Let's see. Okay, the lips
No,
got
no, it's only
protected.
one. It's gonna go down now, yeah.
Yeah, but enough damage was done to EuWeb, and now Pew blinks front. He has +1 attack. So EuWeb Stalkers just getting completely cleared. Only 4 Stalkers left, while Pew has 15 Stalkers still alive. And the Bio
I
Army
think
from
this is
Eskimo
supposed
Joe
to
is
be
getting
cannon.
cleared.
This cannon, guys?
I mean, that's 14 Marauders from Reed, and nothing. It's 14 Marauders
This
and
is
it's
cannon,
nothing.
guys.
Yeah, the bunker is gonna go down. Is this gonna be a 4-2? Readout already comfortable going for T2 now.
Yeah, he does need to add some. He's gonna add Vikings here because he doesn't want to be stacked upon by Rebornbee.
Okay, yeah, this I would have liked to see him make Readout just make more units, because now it's one of the most dangerous times after just clear the bunker. That's usually when your opponent's team can just push back. Let's see how this ends up. It's a Stalker versus Stalker war, but EuWeb Stalkers are just a lot more damage than PewPews. Yeah, and there's just less army from the top team than for the bottom team. I think Shadow Crows is going to be able to clear this. There's still a lot of Stalkers left alive. The whole army of Joe gets completely cleared. And I don't think B's army is going to be good enough to stack right here. Yep, not the best lib sieges there.
PewPew is gonna kill all of them here. He's gonna blink around them and just... Yeah.
Yeah, and if the Stalkers don't get them, the Vikings will get them, right? Like, it's not like the
Yeah.
libs are going to survive at all. And now Tim just needs to do any damage. But, to be fair, EuWeb is going to stack, I believe. I don't think PewPew has an army that can clear EuWeb. He has no Disruptors, no Immortals. It's just Stalkers against Stalkers. And Stalkers, not the best unit at clearing Stalkers, because they can all just blink around infinitely. Okay, and now, finally, T2s from the toss. Let's see what they make. We're getting already a Disruptor out. So we're gonna see the Disruptor war. But is it even a war, right? Like, I think it's more like just a massacre at this point. I like this from Tim. Tim controlling his turrets. He didn't really throw the turrets. Now he's gonna deploy them. Should be great turrets. Yep. Look at all the libs getting clean from B. Okay, so recapping. Right now, Pyjama Warriors, if they want to come back, they're gonna do it on B, right? Like, B is going for mass libs, so that's what they're trying to stack on, and they're trying to make EuWeb catch him. The issue is that PewPew is ready. These Disruptors are ready for when EuWeb tries to blink front. These Disruptors are gonna catch those Stalkers and completely clear them.
The Disruptor recharge, PewPew. Does he realize it? Yeah, somebody pinged it and he does not. He fires, but it's too late. Oh my god! But there is nothing to fire from the shoot from B is full air, so it's useless anyway now. Yeah, Joe needs to reposition back because he's pushing the line too far up, and then B is just fighting not at the base. He's fighting in the field where he can't siege on the Stalkers in time.
And EuWeb's army can't really blink around that much anymore because he's starting to have some of those complex units.
Yeah, but it's more and more Disruptors here. PewPew realizing EskimoJoe is full bio with no mines for now behind, so if he can get any amount of Disruptor shots, or even if EuWeb Stalkers do manage to stack with Joe's army, he can just Disruptor shot the PT stack, and it should be enough for Readout to clean everything up.
Yeah, it looked close there, but it really wasn't. Readout has 2-2 while EskimoJoe's on 1-1. It wasn't as close as it looked like, just because of the
Yeah,
upgrade
the only
difference.
thing is Readout is low on Marines, and now B can get here a double siege first on the Marauders and then on Temilian's Reapers. But it's so many Vikings here. It's the same problem here. EuWeb will have to get some Marines or some Phoenix, or the Liberator stack is just not gonna happen. Another late blink and a couple of massive disruptor shots.
One of them
Lowering
got
the
6
number.
kills, and the other one got 2 of the other ones got 4 kills. One of them did get 0, but all in all, 14 kills is pretty good for disruptors, especially when it's stalkers. That's what.
And it
1,400.
recharges. Shoot it, Pew Pew. Shoot it.
He's not shooting it.
He is not shooting it.
Maybe when there's one Marine left alive, he'll shoot it. But it doesn't
Yeah.
matter. Okay, he shoots it now. Let's get a couple kills. Get 5. That's a lot of Marauders on the Planetary Fortress, actually. The Planetary Fortress is taking a lot of damage already at 50% HP.
Yes, but will have some kind of stack here. We do see the Void Ray and the Phoenix on the field trying to tank for those Vikings, but it's gonna take a while until the Phoenix count rises enough to make a difference here. So far, Temilian doing massive damage and preventing the air stack successfully.
Okay, and now is PewPew going to shoot? There's no Widow Mine here. So these disruptors, they can literally have the best disruptor shots of their life. Okay, misses 1 kill, 9 kills and 13 kills. That's absolutely disgusting. It's like 500 damage, 500 minerals worth of damage per unit. That's 225.
Yeah,
Okay,
I think the writing is on the wall here, as we have our 13th DSFTWA Invitational champions. It is PewPewPrince, Temilian, and Readoubt.